VVS, congratulations on the series win. First of all, most of the boxes ticked. Maybe what areas would you want to improve? And more importantly, you seem to be enjoying this job, not like on a full-time where you just come in and just do the job for the country, but not like on a, what's your thinking behind that?
Well, obviously, Gautam Gambhir, the head coach, and the support staff of the senior team, they just finished their series in England, and they're going to be part of the test series in Sri Lanka. So this is the only break they have. And that's the reason I've chipped in. And this is happening since last 4 years, since the time I've taken the role of the head of cricket at the COE. And for me, it's a great opportunity to spend time with the players, and in this role, it's been quite a fulfilling role, where it's not only with the senior Indian cricketers, men and women, but also being part of the entire pathway program, and credit to BCCI that they invest a lot of time, effort and money for the development programs, and I think me taking care of that has been a very satisfying role so far.
सर अभी इंग्लैंड और आयरलैंड में मतलब परफॉर्मेंस अच्छा नहीं रहा था, फिर आप यहाँ आते हैं, यंग खिलाड़ियों से आपकी किस तरीके से बातचीत होती है और आप उनका मोरल कैसा है और आप उनको बूस्ट कैसे करते हैं?
I think we know that they are very talented. There's no doubt about their skill. There's no doubt about them being match winners. It's just about reminding that and almost make them trust in their abilities. And it's not very difficult. And I think right from the first practice session, I think the morale of the team was fantastic. Only one day before the first match, the players who played the last one day in England, they joined us. But we had all the players who were available in India. We had a 4-day camp at the COE before we all traveled to Harare, and we had good 3 quality sessions. And on the eve of the first match, I as a head coach and the coaching staff, we felt that the entire team was well prepared, and they were looking forward to this opportunity. And it's great to see that they capitalize on the opportunity and play to their potential.
All right, and then I think you may have touched on it slightly, but just going into it a bit further, you have the unique vantage point of maybe coaching players born in 3 different generations. You've got from Viber all the way to the likes of Shreyas.
Yeah.
How much of a dynamic is that when you're approaching, so sort of like how you're talking to the players? Because obviously some of the younger generation might respond differently to some of the senior, more seasoned players. So how does that work for you, and how pleased are you in sort of the response that you then see from those same players?
Yeah, and I think you're spot on. Start of this year, I was here with the India Under-19 side, which won the World Cup, and the way we dominated through the tournament, didn't even lose a single match, and then now here, winning all the 3 matches. I remember even 2 years back, I came with Shubman and Indian team, and we won 4 games out of 5 games. So the opportunity is to plan and execute the programs, which is right from under 15 girls and under 16 boys. And based on their stage of their career, it's important for us to address the areas which is required to be addressed so that they can progress, evolve as cricketers. And with senior cricketers, you actually almost remind them of their potential and almost prepare them so that once they take on the ground, they're confident and just go out and play the brand of cricket they know they can play. Whereas with the pathway programs, it's again depends on the quality of player, the maturity of the player, because that's what is quite varied. If you see someone like Vaibhav, he just played Under-19 World Cup, and in a matter of 4 to 5 months, he dominated the IPL, and we know how tough IPL competition can be, and taking on the best of bowlers from not only India but around the world, the way he evolved, the way he progressed as an international cricketer, and he showed what kind of potential and class and talent he has. So I think we are very fortunate that we have got a lot of depth in our ecosystem, and I think I feel for the next 5 to 10 years we've got a lot of quality players who will take Indian cricket forward.
VVS भाई, हमने आयरलैंड और इंग्लैंड में देखा जब वैभव आते हैं नेक्स्ट में उनको कोचिंग स्टाफ बहुत ज़्यादा उनको चेंज करने की वो अपने यहाँ पर भी मैंने देखा कि आप फील्डिंग में उसके साथ काफ़ी ट्रैक करते हैं, बैटिंग में बहुत ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं। क्या ये डेलिब्रेट आप लोगों का कोचिंग स्टाफ की तरफ से कि उसको अपने अंदाज में छोड़ दिया जाए जो कर रहा है? कैसे वैभव के साथ किस तरह का कोचिंग स्टाफ का अप्रोच है?
I think we know Vaibhav very well. You know, it was, I think, 2.5 years. That was the first time we've identified him. Just before the 2024 Under-19 World Cup, he was part of the quadrangular series which happened in Vijayawada, and he was one of the top scorers for India B. And since then, he has been there in various camps at the COE, and then he was the highest run getter in the Under-19 World Cup. So we know him in and out. It's not only the player, but we also know the person. So when you know the person really from his point of view, what works for him, how do we prepare him so that he's in the best frame of mind when he goes into a match is something which we try to do. And he knows his game. I think, again, as I tell, not only Vaibhav, but anyone, it's just about minute adjustment as far as the skill is concerned. But what is really impressive is the way he is evolved as a person. The maturity level, the understanding and the awareness over the last 6 months has actually skyrocketed, and that's why he's been able to handle tough situations. He's been able to perform under pressure against the best players, you know. And one of the areas which we want him to get better is and work on is his overall fitness. We have to also remember that he's just 15 years old, you know. He's a very young boy, you know, and he himself wants to get better in every aspect of the game. And if you see it, even today's game, he was taking the hot spot. Even though he got injured, he still wanted to be on the field, but it was our physio who actually asked him to come out. So that's the eagerness and the earnestness he has to do and contribute in every possible way to the team.
So did you expect this kind of comeback after what happened in England, or was it on unexpected lines? What was your thought, the way Vaibhav became man of the series?
No, it was on expected lines. Again, last year when he played for Rajasthan Royals for the first time, you know, I think the way he handled pressure, because I believe that any IPL match is equivalent to an international match, you know, and at the age of 14 or 15, you know, when you're playing an IPL match, either you can be overawed by the big occasion or absorb and embrace the pressure. And I think he's taken the second option where he embraced the pressure. So I'm not at all surprised the way this series has gone. He was disappointed not to get 100, but we mentioned to him that it's not going to be the first time or the last time he'll get an opportunity to score hundreds. You know, he's got a long career, and he's got the attitude and the mindset to get better each and every day. And I'm sure that, you know, he will just progress and break all the records at the international level. He's got all the potential and the ability to do that.
We'll take last couple of questions.
So, Coach, so looking, I know you can talk a lot about what India were able to do, and it's been a spectacular thing to watch. And I think for many people will say it's just a pleasure to watch the performances of this team. But looking at your position, what do you think that they did very good at, and what they could improve on?
I think three things which they really did well is understand and assess the conditions. Because we saw as the series progressed, we played on three different kind of wickets. And I think them understanding the conditions was very impressive. Execution of the plans. Especially in T20 cricket, you make the plans and can you go out and execute that to perfection. So I thought not only the batters, but also the bowlers executed their plans to perfection. The third one was, you know, we wanted to exhibit winning mindset, the winner's mindset. And that was the objective and the goal of the series. You know, can we as a team, as a group, exhibit the winner's mindset? And I think each one of them did that, you know, and there were three things which we promised ourselves to do in this series. Number one was play courageous cricket. Second, you know, show full commitment, and the last one was show and display our character. So I think the boys ticked all the three boxes.
Yeah, so I was just asking what you saw in Zimbabwe, what they were good
Oh, with Zimbabwe,
and what they could work on.
I think it's a very good side, the way they did and play against Bangladesh would be quite encouraging. And also in the World Cup, I think they had their moments in the World Cup. There's a lot of depth as far as fast bowling is concerned. Can they find spinners who can put pressure on international batters, especially in conditions which doesn't encourage spinners? And if they can find those spinners, I think it will be a very good side.
We'll take the last question.
सर वैभव आज ही नहीं मतलब वैभव के लिए परसेप्शन यही है कि पहली गेंद से वो अटैक करते हैं शॉट रोकते नहीं है बट आज पिच इतनी फ्लैट नहीं थी आज कंडीशन टफ थी तो आज की इनिंग को वो कैसे रेट करेंगे आप
Very mature, and that's what I really appreciate about Vaibhav, is with each and every experience, each and every match, he understands, he assesses, and he gets better. You know, so I think he does a lot of review of each and every practice session, not only match. You know, so today what you saw was a mature innings because it was a used wicket, the wicket which we played the match on yesterday. You know, so the ball was stopping and coming, the wicket was slow, and I thought, you know, today the Zimbabweans bowled well, had a plan to him. So he countered that plan, and it was a very, very mature knock from Vaibhav.